Well, one of the things she mentioned was that she's always told that her celebrity doesn't translate overseas.
Yeah.
This is something. Well, you're kind of the opposite because your celebrity does translate overseas based on the type of movies that you do, right?
This is something that, of course, man. When a man is telling me you could be Tom Cruise, but too bad you're black, and they have this belief that, you unfortunately don't sell overseas. Bullshit. Action always sold overseas.
True.
The only reason why we know Jackie Chan and Jet Li and Jean-Claude Van Damme is because they're from another country, but they do action.
Exactly.
The point is this: as a dramatic actor, as a comedic actor, China got their own dramatic and leading actors.
So
Russia
no one really
does.
translates overseas unless they're doing action.
That's right, because they say black movies don't translate overseas. White movies don't translate overseas.
Action is the only thing that translates.
It does, yeah. Action does. See, that's the bullshit that they don't tell you. Because of course,
okay, yeah. Now I get it. You're right. Because Marvel movies, Tom Cruise. I mean, Tom Cruise is an action star.
Is an action star.
Yes.
I mean, you know how many movies I had to try to put together as a producer, and I'll throw out all these household names of white actors from the States, and be shocked that they go, that person has no value overseas. I'm like, what? That person's like a household name, and they don't know him. I'm like, oh shit. That, as a producer, that was a big lesson to me, right? And that's why I did these movies in Romania and all these different places, because it makes you overseas marketable.
Right.
So when they say black people don't sell overseas, it's no different than white people don't sell overseas.
Yeah, it's a type of movie.
A white comedian, unless it's a blockbuster, a white comedian, a dramatic actor or whatever, what the hell they need with our white comedians or dramatic actors when they got their own in other countries that speak their damn language?
Right.
But they only need our action stuff because we blow up shit in this country. We do that. We do budgets that they don't have.
Yeah.
So that's why our action content, some of our horror content, even though Korea kills it right now, and Korea is like some of the best action too, but it's our action and our LGBTQ content that sells overseas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The gay content does well overseas?
Yeah, especially in parts of India, which is, India is you think about it, India is the biggest English-speaking country in the world.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Far bigger than this country. So
yeah.
That's a huge market. So it's like you gotta see these things worldwide. And so getting back to like that would be the move to me, is that you get these people who are not honored for what they bring and their talent, and you pull it together, and because the fan base is out there. It's just got to be crafted in such a way that it's global.
Well, she made some comments about The Color Purple when she was working on that. She said they gave us rental cars, and I was like, I can't drive myself to set in Atlanta. This is an insurance liability. It's dangerous. Now they're robbing people. What do I look like? Taking myself to work by myself in a rental car? So I was like, I get a driver, security to take me. I'm not asking for the moon. They're like, well, if we do it for you, we got to do it for everybody. Well, do it for everybody. And stuff like that I shouldn't have to fight for.
Right.
And she said, I haven't had a raise since Proud Mary from 2018. I still didn't get a raise. They don't care. They're always looking for a deal and trying to pay you the least amount of money. I remember on Empire, I was fighting over trailers. Now keep in mind, I just want to say this before you go on. Proud Mary was one of the few movies that she did star in. Had a $30 million budget. It made $22 million at the box office. So, unfortunately, the movie that she did star in wasn't a big success. So when it comes to Hollywood and they look at past performance, I mean, the same thing with me. When I have my repeat guests, and I have a lot of them, I look at what they did last time. And I base, in the future, whether I want to bring them back on, how much I'm going to pay them, everything else like that. It's all a business at the end of the day. Like, yes, there's art and you're trying to create incredible products. I do too, but there's a business aspect. There's lots of people who I love to interview, but I know their interviews flop, so I can't keep bringing them back on. It's just life. I'm the one that's having to pay for it. And when you do a Proud Mary and it doesn't blow up, now Proud Mary becomes massive, then it would have been a different conversation moving forward. But unfortunately, it didn't. And, this is the thing. And once again, The Color Purple, $100 million budget, $60 million at the box office. It's probably going to lose money. And the people who are involved in that, that's part of their resume at that point. So when it comes time to book them for other projects, people are going to be looking at these numbers and saying, it's not entirely their fault, but this is part of it. It's show business. And people don't want to hear this because people love Taraji. I love Taraji, but people don't want to hear the pluses and minuses and the actual, the actual numbers in these projects. And which is why I've always said, screw these production companies, screw these big studios, create your own project like you did with the Outlaw Johnny Black. And when it starts to actually come together, there's going to be bidding wars on who is going to buy this. You think if Taraji made a kick-ass project with her own production company, you don't think Netflix would be dying to buy it? Or Apple TV or Amazon or Paramount Plus?
I'm going to tell you to put down that sledgehammer. Put down that sledgehammer. Okay, you're starting to get up there again. Okay. Yeah, yeah. There's points taken, but of course, it's kind of can't blame the victim. But I feel like, again, as somebody who's very protective and wanting the best, yeah, it's disconcerting. But yeah, I think it might take some other avenues to get to where she really wants to be, and where she deserves to be.
Right.
I mean, honestly, like Tyler was one of the first people that really paid people what they.
Yeah, I heard she got the most from Tyler.
Oh yeah.
Tyler Perry.
But in that same ethic, I mean, Tyler respected her for who she is and what she brings.
Right.
And Tyler's done that for a number of people. But as far as that team building and her new team, I would love her team to consist of some great writers who have not had their due, some great directors who have not had their due, who are hungry and want to put out some amazing content because, she may have starred in Proud Mary, which was probably written well. I don't know what the situation was. It might have been more than likely, it might have been a script that existed, and then it's like insert Taraji. And if there's something that is organically her, that's kick-ass, that's created for her, that she has a part in, a part in developing, I can't see it stopping. I can't see it not being what Proud Mary probably should have been, or something like that. That's me speculating. I don't know if that was designed for her in particular, but I think if she had a team that really a creative team that could put together and produce things, I think she'd be happy with the result, So that's just my guess.